It had been a full week since Dabi had been in the Shinobi home, a full week since his talk with Gyro, and a full week since the pro-hero Grow had saved him from dying of hypothermia. Yeah, a lot had happened in that 1 week. As Dabi walked into the bus, his sunglasses on and his hood over his head, he sat down in a vacant seat. Placing his elbows on the windowsill, he looked out at the passing scenery. As the bus moved and stopped to pick up passengers, Dabi was deep in thought. Like he'd suspected, Shigaraki had been very impressed with Dabi's findings, since usually he came back with nothing. But not this time. When Dabi had presented the beetle-like eyes to his boss, Shigaraki had been so pleased that they had used them all up in the span of a few days, to stock up on supplies and other items that Dabi wasn't told about. So here he was, going back to grab some more. He manipulated a 12-year-old to give him his quirk. Dabi didn't know whether he was impressed or disgusted in himself. He didn't think this line of work would involve children, and yet here he was. Yay for him. Not only had he manipulated a kid, he'd made so many promises to the kid that even he had started to believe his own lies. But he had a plan. Murder the mother. In a way that looks like an accident. Of course, he first had to earn the twins' trust. He would need to really play up the good guy act and sell his performance. Dabi smirked. He had faith in himself. It couldn't be that hard to make 2 dumb kids trust him. Well, he would know, anyway. Dabi felt his face contort, his brows furrow as his lips became a thin line. Of course, no one else could see this. The only one that knew of this expression was himself. The story Gyro had told him, replaying in his mind. It had been for weeks now, and once again, it came back like a tidal wave. He could see all of it unfold before him, their parents screaming in horror at their boy's appearance, the neglect and abuse enacted on them out of fear, their mother breaking and tearing out their eyes, their father dropping them on the side of the road at the age of 8. Dabi's eyes closed as he imagined Gyro holding G-Pot's hand, as the 2 stumbled through the town, calling out to their parents and crying that they couldn't find them. And then he saw Grow, her short, chubby frame walking over to the kids at age 18, making the reckless choice to adopt them right then and there, not even thinking about it, just taking them in like it was nothing. Second nature. He shook his head against the glass and sighed. That cannot be the real story, he thought to himself. He sat up in his seat and took out his phone. The screen was cracked, but it did him good. He began looking up anything that fit Gyro's story, and to his surprise, he found something rather quickly. It was a small article, a court case, and it was about the twins. It had a girl's name all over it, too. She'd fought valiantly for the twins to be legally hers. She had given overwhelming evidence against the birth parents, and the disgusting thing was, the twins' parents hardly fought back. At least that's what the article said. Closing his phone, he sat back in his seat and looked up at the ceiling. Well then, only one side of the story left. 1 hour later, and Grow heard her doorbell ring. It's about time you opened your damn door. You know how long I've been ringing your doorbell? I thought you were mute, not deaf. Well, let me inside. I should have known better from a hero. You all feel stuck up and... Don't touch me! I'm not even going to explain why I'm here. You don't deserve it. Now, where's your kitchen? I said stop touching me. What part of personal space do you not understand? Or do you just have a terrible concept of that? I thought you were mute, not stupid. Then again, once again, you took in a stranger off the side of the road and took care of him. So I don't know how smart you actually are. Oh, struck a chord there, I see. Shut up and be a good little girl and go sit on a chair while I go see what your fridge has to offer me. Thought you were a pushover. Should have guessed. Now what you got here? I don't know what I was expecting. This is all just vegetarian crap, but I suppose it's better than nothing. I'll have some of this. What? Never seen a guy eat cold soba before? Don't look at me like that. Stop it. Look, if you're gonna stare at me like some sort of kicked puppy, then I would rather the kicked puppy write something down so I understand why she looks so offended. Oh, don't got any paper with you? Whatever, I'm getting tired of the game charades you always try and play with me. Honestly, it's quite boring, not very entertaining. Unlike when I insult your kids. Speaking of which, where are the ugly little brats? What is that supposed to mean? You see, you make these hand gestures expecting me to know what the hell you're trying to say when I just don't. Either you type it, or... You know what? Actually, how about you give me your number? Don't look at me like that. Listen, as entertaining as all your expressions are, I'm dead serious. Give me your number. It will just make things a whole lot easier. Then you don't have to waste all that, data on your phone writing down your responses to me. Also, then when people look through your phone, you don't look completely insane. And if they happen to come across our text messages, they'll just think you're a clingy little... Well, I won't finish that sentence. You're smart, girl. I'm sure you know exactly what I was gonna say. In any case, give it now. Listen, we don't need to make this a whole difficult thing. And I'm not one to threaten beautiful ladies. Oh wait, that's right, you aren't. I'm sorry, I'm not wearing my glasses today, so I guess I mistook you for someone actually worth my time. But I have to admit, I've never come across a hero with a disability before. No, yours isn't exactly anything noteworthy. You can still function. It's not like you have some sort of mental disorder holding you back. Unless the reason you're mute is because of mental disability. I struck a chord, didn't I? Interesting. Well, please don't cause any more suspense. I'm intrigued. But of course, before you answer any of my questions, I would need your number. Awesome. See, that wasn't so hard now, was it? What? You're gonna really judge my phone? Sure, it's cracked. I've dropped it a few times. How about you stop giving me that judgmental stare you got going on there and, You see, normally I would just tell you to shut up, but you're not saying anything, so that would be very counterproductive, and then again, I feel like this is the most I've talked in years to anyone, but you intrigue me. Not because of your looks or even whatever remnant of personality you might have. I'm just interested because you're so different. Man, you get insulted easily. No, trust me. I know your kind. You try so hard to hide how you feel and pretend like nothing bothers you. In reality, I'm sure you're used to all these snide comments I'm giving you. But they still hurt, don't they? They get under your skin like a plague, a leech, sucking out all of the confidence you've built up over the years. No matter how many times your friends tell you you're beautiful, no matter how many times they tell you that you're competent, you know deep down that they're lying. Because if that were true, then why does everyone always insult you? Done. Now,
Answer my questions. It'll make things much more easier on me, personally, than having to guess what you're about to say all the time. First question. This is something that's been on my mind for a while, actually. How did you come across the twins, anyway? Jairu, last time I was here, told me a little bit about their sob story, but I want to make sure I have all the facts straight. Go on. Get to typing. What's the hesitation for? Oh, I see. You're a protective mom, making sure that she's not giving away information that could danger her kids. Well, I assure you, if I was dangerous, I would have done something by now. I'm just an average Joe, just like you or anyone else. Of course, I'm not a hero. I'm just an innocent bystander. I suppose Dabi is an odd name for someone who's, well, innocent. You don't think my name is my real one? I think you'd be the second person to say that. Or, well, you texted it. You know what? I'll make a deal with you. If you answer all these questions honestly, I might just tell you my actual name. Only my first one, though. I mean, I know you're kind. You'll try to look me up, and personally, even though my life is extremely boring, I don't want you to make fun of me for it. I suppose someone with burn scars couldn't have a boring life. That's a good point. But maybe I got it in a boring way, you don't know. Or maybe I was born like this. Maybe these aren't scars and they're actually just how my skin looks. Maybe my quirk is just I look strange, just like your son's. You know, it's really funny watching you get all apologetic, but I digress. I'll ask it again. How did you come across the twins? Maybe watching your text was better. Then I could actually see you were making progress. It's kind of boring just waiting. Then again, I suppose that's why you have... See, I'm not doing too well now. I've talked all my words out, I guess. I'm not exactly the talking kind of person. I'm usually a pretty quiet guy. I don't really appreciate one-sided conversations, but I guess I never thought I'd be on the receiving end of those. Usually people are always talking to me and blabbing their mouths about whatever the frick they think is important, and I just listen, or I tune them out. I've never been on the receiving end of that, so I'll have to admit this is a bit strange for me. So don't get all offended if my vocabulary slows down. I'm not used to this. Not used to talking for a long time. Oh, that's a lot. So, you're telling me, at the age of... You were 18. And you found these kids on the side of a road. You just took them in. Weren't you scared? Weren't you terrified that it was a scam? That they were gonna scam you out of your money? Were you scared that they weren't honest? That they didn't actually need your pathetic excuse of help? Didn't you think that... Okay. But how true is that? I've met a fair share of heroes in my time, and I know well enough that they aren't all sunshine and rainbows. Was there an ulterior motive for helping them? To get some credit? To be seen as a good Samaritan by the entire damn world? Or did you just do it because you felt pity? Which I find very hard to believe. That is a little ranking. Which begs the question even more, why did you help them? If you're so low ranked on the Billboard charts, then why even bother? It's not like that's gonna shoot you up any more than you are. I mean, what's the point? What's the point of helping if you don't gain anything from it? That's hardly gaining something. Just because you feel good after helping someone doesn't mean... that doesn't pay the bills, that doesn't feed you. It's just a fleeting feeling that's going to disappear in a matter of seconds. It won't last. So you keep helping. That's such a dumb response. Didn't you just hear me? It doesn't do anything. It's just a pathetic feeling that goes away. Just like everything else in our world. People always act on feelings and emotions. They don't act on actual logic anymore. Then again, I suppose that is a bit hypocritical of me. I'm no better. Well, I like to think I'm doing it more for revenge. Oops. I guess I revealed a little too much about myself, huh? That's right. I did say I'd tell you my name. But I have a few more questions I want you to answer. Are you ready for round 2? What do you think of Stain, the hero killer? What do you think of his ideals? I would never have expected that to come from a hero. You agree with him. How? Why? Of course. When it comes to killing, you're all, no, that's terrible, but everything else is fine. Well, I suppose I can give you some credit. Stain's morals, everything he stands for, it's morals I've had myself before I even knew he existed. No, you're not the one asking questions, I am. Fine. I first learned about Stain when I was, I think 17. It was after I ran away from home. Well, I could hardly call it a home. I guess I was running away from a lot of things back then. I guess I still am. Anyway. I was 17. like I told you before when I was here, something about the fact that you can't speak makes me want to talk more. Are you sure you don't have some sort of hidden quirk? Or is that just your presence? I guess you could say that. I suppose something about you does make me wanna give you more information than I usually do to people. But don't get a big head because of it. You're no one special. Again, if you were a completely different person, if you were a guy and you were mute, I'd be here. I'd be in the same predicament I am right now. I guess there's something about not being able to speak and then being able to speak. That doesn't make any sense. I guess what I'm trying to say is what I've been repeating to you. You can't talk, and I can. It's an interesting combination. So, what other questions do I want to ask? Ooh, I got one. You're pretty young, things considered. You're like a few years younger than me. So why take on some kids? You're like, I would guess you're in college. Then again, the pro hero Hawks isn't. But I've heard that most low-rank heroes tend to try and balance college and hero work. Are you one of those? You are. Interesting. So let me get this straight. You're a college student, a hero, and a single mother. And you're mute, and a woman of color. I feel like your life has a lot more problems than you're letting on. I can only imagine the, discrimination you're faced with. Not only because of your disability, but because of how you look. And especially in Japan, with our beauty standards, we have some pretty high expectations for women, don't we? You look nervous. Did I strike a chord with you? Since I've been doing a lot of that recently. Right. My name. I guess you've earned it. Only if you tell me yours first. Shinobi. Interesting. Terrible name. Doesn't suit you at all. I would think someone skinnier would have a name like that, but, what do I know? Man, I haven't laughed this much since, never. You were very fun to insult and tease and make fun of. You should probably lose a few pounds before you tell people that. I'll stick to calling you Grohack, though. So, my name. Toya. No, that's all you get. You're pretty dumb for telling me your full name. Well, then again, you are a hero, so there's not much you have to hide, but... I looked you up when I left. You really aren't that popular. You only have a handful of people following you, and even then, most of them consist of people criticizing you. Criticizing a lot of things you do. I can only imagine that takes a toll on your mental state. You don't look like you've slept in a long time. Or that could just be my eyes playing tricks on me. Or something else. Well, I guess we all have our demons, don't we? I have my own, and you have yours. You're probably wondering what those demons are, but I don't even tell my closest comrades what they are. So why should I tell you? Once again, with you and asking me questions. Why did I introduce myself as Dabi? Well, if you want the honest truth, it's a nickname my mother would give me when she wanted me to feel special and remind me that I was still important to her. But those are of the past now, and it doesn't matter anymore. I guess in a way I feel Dabi's more of my name than Toya is. Then again, I think you're the first person I've told that. You know, I've told you a lot of things I haven't told people. If this was some sort of romance show, this would be the part where I, the bad boy, of course, tells you that there's something different about you, and oh, you're so special, but here's the thing, hotcake, you're not. There's nothing about you that's interesting, or different, or special. Because even if you're the first hero I've met with a disability, you're not the only one. There are millions of heroes out there that are just like you, and you're no special snowflake because of it. You're always going to end up being the one that no one cherishes. Because here's the truth. In this world, beauty is only a thing that exists if you fit in to stand into the box that society has put in front of you. So you're never going to be anything special to anyone. Oh, you have friends? Well, good for you. Honestly. Congratulations! You have people that are willing to put up with your miserable existence. I'm so proud. But you know, not everyone's that lucky. Don't touch me. You and trying to touch me, I don't get it. What? I would hardly call us friends. I don't need friends, anyway. They're useless to me. Besides, friendship is just a construct that's been created. Friendship isn't actually anything important either. There are a lot of things in life that our society says is important, but in reality, it's not. Friendship being one of those things, love being one of those things, justice being one of those things. Justice hasn't and never will exist. Because if it did, then the good people in this world wouldn't die, or bad things wouldn't happen to them. Stop trying to touch me. I'm starting to think you don't understand what personal space is and what no means. Don't touch me. Ever. I think I have to go. This was fun. Really, it was, but I don't think those ones are coming back anytime. You want me to stay? No, yeah, you did. You're right. You did offend me. You did insult me. You insulted me. Why are you inviting me to stay in your home when I literally just ripped into you? Do I need to spell it out for you? You're ugly. I don't like your face. It's disgusting. I guess you're stronger than I thought. Fine, I'll hang around a little bit longer. Just don't expect me to be all what's the word? Appreciative. Don't expect me to be all happy and, oh, I'm in debt to you. Because, quite frankly, I've repaid my bed debt by not stealing anything from your home. But I will admit, I wouldn't be alive right now if it weren't for your help. So I guess for that, if I haven't already, thank you. Don't look so overjoyed. Then again, I wouldn't describe that to be the emotion on your face. Whatever. Don't expect any more friendly compliments from me, because that's the only quote-unquote compliment you're going to get for the day. I suppose there wasn't. Then how about I give you one? So I don't have to give you any more for the rest of the time I'm here. I guess I'll tell you something I haven't ever thought I would ever say to a hero. You're selfless. I can respect that. However, your selflessness could also be your downfall, as well as your strength. Word of warning, be careful.